The end is where we start from is an interesting phrase because this is the entire life paradigm. How anything starts is how it ends, and how anything ends is how it starts. One of the most popular quirks of watching anime, and for that matter any long-running TV show, movie, or album, is the intro. The intro track or opening to something immediately tells you if something is going to be bad or not, and arguably it should always tell some kind of story. Of course, we're drawn to cute girls dancing on screen to J-pop songs, or our favorite shounen protagonist scaling the world with his friends, but there's something much deeper at play here. There's something more intimate, far more connected than just the song. I said that opening should arguably tell some kind of story, and this is absolutely true. Today, let's take a look at Bleach's first, second, and third openings, some of the most iconic and nostalgic anime songs of all time, as well as one of the reasons why Bleach saw so much success in this industry. Look up at the light of the stars in the night sky. Look up at the light of the stars in the night sky. The main message of Bleach is that those who have the courage to fight through darkness are the ones who shine the most. Fear does not exist without death. To look toward the stars is to look toward the small light to guide you. Stars are quite literally lights in the darkness. They guide us and can be used to navigate the terrain. Also, isn't it interesting that every form Ichigo goes through is dark in nature, yet as the protagonist of the story he's told not to adhere to it and instead to persevere through said darkness? It's almost as if he's told to disobey his nature at an attempt to understand the world and everything within it. Some basic research will tell you that the Greeks thought stars were the homes of bright spirits or spirits themselves. Do with that what you will. Once, twice, the bell toll echoes, deeply, terribly in my heart. As a story tells, the rock will sink with the best of rock and roll inside. Music is an expression of what you're harboring in your soul. Every artist should view music as art. As Shinigami continue to fight for what they believe is right, it's almost as if it's a telling of art, a creation if you will. It's no coincidence that bells were used for music and are still somewhat present in a lot of music today. As their story unfolds, they sink deeper into a large desire to protect what's meaningful to them, almost like a symphony playing out, conducting their ideals and beliefs with large amounts of passion. Eventually, time will begin its trek, as the rock sinks silently lower. Time will go on as these characters use their soul to express what they truly believe about the world. A long, arduous journey to find the truth as they sink deeper into passion, pain, and pleasure. Fine, get it over with for the world, the earth and its people. This is interesting to me because it seems as though they have no choice. Fine, get it over with, sink into your ideals. Let the world and its people know what you truly mean. Only then will you find the light in the darkness. Goody, what I need my dominant girlfriend to call me as she's stroking me from the back. Bring the flowers and light into view. Fire them off until they reach someone. Flowers are typically used as an allegory toward beauty. Once they found the light in the darkness, only then can beauty be brought forth into the world. Claw, fight your way until your ideals reach someone. The light of the sun is just on the other side. Once you start messing with it, it'll seem easy. I talk about persevering through the tough times a lot because any good story will establish this. Bleach is no different. The light is just on the other side, which is a perfect parallel to the opening hook. The light will guide you until you're on the other side. All you have to do is mess with it. Throw shit at the wall until it sticks. Keep experimenting because all you have to do is start in order to gain momentum. Then the hook comes back around, establishing this further. Look up at the light of the stars in the night sky. The era when we sharpened feelings we'd never known. Your voice is fading. The opening shows Ichigo fighting for his life, or fighting through the darkness, which is literal. There's a reason why he's only fighting dark silhouettes in this scene. The voice of hope fades, but the era where we fight for the heart we wear on our sleeve is upon us. The feelings we never knew existed until the light bequeaths us. Our eyes sparkle as someone finally screams. Thoughts in the wind wishes to the moon. We all know the scene. Orihime calls out to Ichigo in an attempt to get through to him after his initial defeat. However, instead of a sparkle in his eyes, it awakens the demon inside of him. Now her thoughts and wishes reach as high as the moon, as the monster's roar reaches just as high. I'll live as strong as I can today again. Look up at the light of the stars in the night sky. The era when we sharpened feelings we'd never known. Your voice is fading. One day our feelings will reach someone's heart. Shine on like that star. Shine on, shine bright. You're only human after all. If you have the option to shine brighter than any star, any light to push through, then why wouldn't you? Perhaps we should resemble the stars so that one day we can be acknowledged and accepted by others. And then and only then will our voice reach them. And that is Bleach's first opening. It's foreshadowing to what's to come, and it's both a beautiful and catchy song that has captivated the hearts of many, including 2-year-old me. Injured with pain and sadness, the you that cannot be healed. Shoulder the burden of the past that cannot be erased. Bleach often has this method of characterization that I love, which is through the real version of someone and the soul version of somebody. As a Shinigami is injured with pain and sadness from carrying out their mission, there's a part of them that will never heal. There's a part of them that will never be the same. These characters must shoulder the burden of both their past and the past of their opponents as they refuse to throw away their will to live, and by extension their right to live. Your hand that I held, will we lose it someday? I want to protect you in that disappearing smile. The ringing voice that calls me dries out. Even if it gets erased by the wind a long time, I will find you. These lyrics are definitely describing the relationship between Rukia and Ichigo at this time. While it is talking about the fact that Ichigo may quite literally lose the hand that he held, I believe there's much more nuance here, even beyond the idea of connection or relationships. Ichigo must let go of the hand that had guided him up until this point in order to protect Rukia and her smile that fades slowly, both literally and in the confines of Ichigo's mind. Even her voice and face are slowly erased by the winds of fate. Ichigo will find her once more. Injured with pain and sadness, the you that cannot be healed. Don't say words like you can't smile or you hate people. Everything that happens in the unseen future has a meaning, so stay like this. There'll come a time when you will realize. We get a repeat of lyrics here followed by some new ones. Despite the pain and responsibility these characters must take on, you can't say things like you can't smile or that you hate people, because that love for life is what will keep you going. Everything that happens has a meaning, so stay as if nothing happened, because once you accept the position that's been bequeathed towards you, you're able to realize something more, something far closer to the truth. Like a rusted person, it felt so hollow to just pile atop one another. You said you could live on your own, just with the usual kind words. You ache to a point where I cannot reach you. The lyrics here have two different meanings. As if you were a rusted person, it felt hollow to pile on one another refers to the fact that humans tend to just throw themselves at one another until it sticks, until there's some kind of positive impact that comes out of it, even if it ends in far more pain than necessary. Similarly, this also refers to the fact that the characters are piling rusted or damaged people on top of one another. One after the other, the Shinigami must protect what they believe to be right by battling against these damaged beings known as the Hollows. You say you can live alone, that it's possible for you to take on this burden alone, but that was false. That was simply something that came of the moment. With the usual kind words, you throw yourself into darkness, and you ache to a point where nobody can reach you, which serves as exposition for Rukia's burden and Aizen's betrayal of the Soul Society later in this arc. The path to glory, honor, and victory is a dark and very lonely path. I'm not saying what Aizen or Rukia did was honorable necessarily, but more so the fact that their actions is what they believe to be honorable and the right thing to do, which just connects back to the ideas of courage that are established throughout Bleach. Your hand that I held searched for some simple kindness. Do you remember? By learning pain, you can become a person who can be kind to others. Drive your life. The hand that Ichigo held simply searched for kindness. By learning the pain that comes with the life that we are given, we're able to become a person who in turn can be kind to others. Take the steering wheel to your life. Take what's yours and become someone who can help others. In other words, drive your life. I know this one was shorter, but what can you really do? You are the only you. There is no such thing as your replacement. Don't wilt away, single flower. There's a certain romance to individualism, the skill to simply love yourself for who you truly are, not comparing yourself to others no matter how tempting it is. It's an interesting paradigm here in Bleach. We've talked about the spiritual self versus the physical self, but Bleach takes it a step further and dives deep into the psyche of these characters, dissecting the anatomy of each person's ideology. You are like a flower that bloomed in a dark shadow. Even though you're in a place you didn't wish to be, you can't move because of your roots. From the struggle of comparing one's ideology to another's to comparing accolades of feats, we as humans often more than not differentiate between who is an acceptable human being versus who is not. If you see someone succeeding, it's hard to truly praise or accept them despite how much people try to act like it isn't. It's a struggle to see others succeed when you're losing. It's a struggle to see things as they are rather than what they could be. Everybody, no matter who they are, believes that they should be in some sort of position right now, a certain job or a certain relationship. We believe we deserve what others have subconsciously, and this is one of the main reasons why Bleach uses this flower analogy to hammer home the idea of self-worth and self-acceptance. We are like flowers blossoming in the shadows of others, despite being in a position you don't want to be in, and due to the roots we've set or the standard, we cannot move forward and shine in the spotlight. Just spit out your closed up feelings. I'll accept all of your pain and suffering, so please don't cry. Please smile, single flower. I love Bleach's early use of melancholy syntax. It draws you into the story and keeps you enveloped in it, even if the tone of what's currently going on is a bit silly. Not to mention this constant idea of being saved from pain and suffering by somebody else. Of course, the answer to your problems lies in connecting with others. Perhaps you no longer have the strength to keep going forward, but there's always somebody, anybody who can reach out and make you smile in the darkness. It's all going to be a blip on the radar. So why worry? Why cry when you're most beautiful when you smile? Why frown when you have the ability to love others around you? I wanted to see your innocent figure that looked as if it were about to wilt one more time. I wanted to become your strength. One more time where Ichigo will see Rukia in her most innocent and most fragile state, one that faces death and despair. Ichigo attempts to become Rukia's strength despite her thinking she is less than what she actually is due to failing the Soul Society and her family, more specifically Byakuya. Even if there comes a time when the whole world becomes our enemy, I'll protect you. Even if the entire world, the Soul Society in this context, becomes their enemy, Ichigo swears to protect that smile. He swears to protect that innocent figure, a complete contrast to the one he first meets in episode 1. He swears to protect his friend and his loved one. Alright, so obviously these lyrics are a fucking banger, but there's a deeper meaning, and I think this specifically addresses the main idea of this opening. There is no other way. There is no next time, no other or any time you should notice the concept of fear and anxiety. You must carry out your mission, your goals, what you truly believe in your heart. There is no time to notice a way out. You've dug yourself deep in this hole. You're competing with others, and even more scarily, you're competing with yourself. It's only you who can notice there's no other time than now to step forward. You're the only you. You're the only version of yourself. There is no replication, so fight on. Take the figurative sword and cut down whatever it is that causes you to hide in the darkness. Don't give up, single flower. Thanks for watching. Shout out Taite Kubo, and until tomorrow where we'll cover OP4 to OP9, peace out.